going to go to the first frame and write out a frame to work on. Again, I'm just going to give it the same name, but make it a JPEG. Output color space is Rec 709 and render one frame. Then back in Griptape, again, I'm going to locate the frame that I just output, drag it from my file browser into the workflow, and it shows up here. For this image, it's a 16:9 image, and I'm just working at 1920 by 1080, which is HD resolution. This is probably what most people will be working on a lot of the time. Then I'm going to come over to the tools on the left-hand side, and under the image menu, I'm going to grab the Nano Banana node again, drag this into my workflow, and then I'm going to connect up my input image again. In this case, my aspect ratio is 16:9, which is correct this time, and I'm going to set my image size to 2K, which is basically a little bit bigger than HD resolution. For my output file, I'm going to set this to be called grp shot2 underscore clean plate underscore version 1. And for the prompt on this, I'm going to say remove graffiti and orange barrier. Don't change anything else. Now again, the reason why I keep putting don't change anything else onto this is because AI is very, very good at doing what it's told. And the more information you give it, the better a job it generally does. So that's why when I was doing these prompts, I typed in don't change anything else, which will hopefully instruct Nano Banana to not do too much meddling with the other stuff in the shot. It doesn't always work, but I think it's worth trying. So just make your prompts as specific as you can. And in fact, I might even say, and keep the bricks the same. I almost forgot to put a .jpeg on the end of my file type as well. Okay, so we're ready to give this a go. I'm going to hit run workflow at the top, and we'll see what happens. Okay, and it's done. As you can see, our image has appeared here again. Let's have a look at what it's done. Interestingly, it's duplicated the vents lower down on the building, which I hadn't seen it do before when I was testing this video. I don't really want that, I'd rather it just left the wall as it was, but without the graffiti. So although that's pretty close, I'm actually going to run it again. I'm just going to do a new version, so let's call this version 2. And let's run the workflow again, and we'll see what the difference is. Okay, version 2 is done, let's have a look. So yeah, as you can see, now the vents aren't there. So obviously, if you don't like the image you get out, you can tweak your prompt to try and steer it more in the correct direction. But if it's a very small detail that's just a bit off, sometimes running exactly the same prompt again will actually give you what you're after. It's a bit of a roulette wheel, it's just part of the process at the moment. I think it's quite funny. So anyway, that's saved out, so let's go back into Nuke and now utilize this clean plate. Okay, here it is. I'm going to drag this into my Nuke node graph, set my color space back to Rec 709, and if I compare the two, looks pretty good. Like I mentioned earlier, the resolution of this is slightly higher. It's 2752 by 1536. So I can just reformat this back down to HD. So it's now exactly the same resolution as my source plate.